Well, Tom, let's not wait any longer to find out. It's time to dive into map number 1 here. The upper bracket to be decided, and it's already off to a quick start. Marv, tucked in the corner, has an opportunity as the players walk by. They clear him, but not quick enough. A double for Marv, and now B is open.
Yeah, this leaves them so much space to make that move back in towards the B side, and the remaining players almost feel like they're hoping that there's a gamble in the other direction. You can see Sassy making that rotation back over. Still has a little bit of utility to play with, maybe able to delay them a bit, but he's kind of waiting for his teammate in Sadak to make that move around. I will say, these two together, they've been doing it for a while. They're pretty good at clutches.
Yeah, they can definitely get it done if they're given the opportunities. The first shot, though, for Sadak, not going to land. He's being spotted, but calls for the stun. That's going to put a little bit of a wrench in the works, but Crashies is now back up and available to fight himself. Need to find some duels. The flash, getting the space. Sadak trying to fight his way onto the site, but look at OPTIC just tucked away in the corners. Eventually an opportunity's given. Time starts to be a problem. Ammunition as well, down to his last bullet. He swaps into the Ghost, but even after those 2 kills, that's all that Sadak can get.
This pistol, they were very aggressive in their stance.
Well, speaking of aggression, look at Victor. He's already around the corner. Record pace as he blitzes in towards this site, opens up a ton of space. And for Loud, you know, they're reacting to this. They're sending their 2 players over. Sassy's alone on long range, and now up against a headhunter. He is going to be taken down quite quickly. This is a very, very strong round out of OPTIC with only 1 player going down so far. And they're even getting some orbs out of it as well. If they can manage to avoid losing anyone else, this will be pretty perfect. And Ye, though, does kind of want to get aggressive. He's only got a classic to back up his headhunter.
Enemy remaining.
How much more is Victor gonna get? Okay, just styling. It looks like they're gonna try and blitz their way forward once again. This is something Loud are gonna have to react to.
That's one thing to do it against an Eco, a completely different ball game when it comes to the full buy. Victor's made it past the utility at least. He's still trying to skirmish around, but at this point, the surprise factor is gone. I mean, we've already seen Loud adjust to it, and the players are waiting on the site for him to hopefully just blitz through, give them a kill or 2. OPTIC seem to be pretty happy with taking the map control. You know, they're not putting all their eggs in one basket. Sure, we're watching Victor get aggressive, but there are still players poking out towards B, grabbing the orbs there as well. This is really good for farming up the ult economy, and we'll see that benefit, maybe not in this round, but coming into the next for sure.
Yeah, they're not far away from having themselves an orbital strike, which would at least clear out some of the positions on the map. Now, obviously, if you're on Loud side, you've got traps on either side that you're not currently covering, so they do still have an awful lot of information. Because those haven't been broken, they know where this push is going to be coming through. Even still, though, 1-for-1 trade early is pretty good, and Marv, well, there you go, that's the O online.
Sadak tried to get out of there, and he just couldn't in time. The other players locked out of the site, stuck in towards the defender spawn. And Tom, this is a round that they come in with rifles on the defensive side. They want to be dominating these duels, but OPTIC keep on finding fights 1 versus X. It's always in their favor. For now, though, at least Crashies is being dealt with. That was an opportunity for Ye. The recovered Vandal not yet finding anything. The plant down for the 2v2. Has FNS, I mean, they haven't spotted him, but they know they've given up all of this control. It's still a tough position to clear as they push forward.
And they're using utility past him, so he knows roughly where these players are going to be. They have absolutely no idea. An easy clear, and Marv swings off that initial contact. Great work from OPTIC in these early rounds. They've got themselves the bonus round mid.
For OPTIC to walk out with the win, now have a ton of rifles to play with, and Loud left in the dumps. This is not the ideal way to start out this map, but with it being OPTIC's map pick, I suppose this is exactly what they wanted. Now with the weak weapons, great flash as well. This is again going to be Victor with flawless control over A main.
Just absolutely farming. They're setting him up for these initial duels, but normally you expect them to be in like a trade. Like 1 or 2, maybe someone gets him back, but no. He's having an absolute field there, and as I said, if he's able to perform to his peak level, well, they might be able to blitz through the first couple of maps and make their way straight through to the final. There hasn't been any sort of response just yet, and they're taking it slow. They got the first couple of picks. You can see some early rotations coming through, but they're just trying to bait players into almost taking a risk here.
I guess the thing that's so hard to find a reaction to is like they want to stun early and keep you out of A main, but when you have somebody like Victor who's going to stun you to peek the corner, you can't take that map control out of their hands. And they're able to just blitz past the utility, get on the site, and in this case, obviously find some kills, but with players not having rifles, we won't read too much into that. For Loud, it's about finding a little bit of extra damage. Even then, that's going to be very difficult to do in a 3v5 post plant.
Yeah, you can actually see the absurd amount of utility they put in there, even though they know it's just pistols. But Carter, though, has been able to find one. Anything more they can get here a second. That's a rifle into their hands as well, giving them at least a little bit of an opportunity. Les trades back another into a 2v2 scenario. This was looking like a done deal in the 5v3, but somehow Loud are making it look good.
They've done a damn good job of recovering it indeed, but still have to get towards that site. Time's not on their side, and Crashies with a great little maneuver, making his way across. As you can see, it won't have any sort of impact anyways, because Loud realized the clock was way too far gone. That's 4-0.
It's just rinse and repeat. They are challenging for A main. There hasn't been anyone there able to stop them just yet, and in fact, Aspas looking like he's going to try and take this control on his own. Has its risks about it. He's instantly stunned, but will be able to get out of dodge.
Yeah, great movement to back out of there. Victor's still keeping up his stun for a little bit.
He got headshotted through the door.
We've seen it again and again now that they were bypassing the utility, keeping them back, and I think at this point, you know, OPTIC sort of were just feeling out A main, saying, okay, how are you taking it? Are you pushing up fully? Were we going to have some utility coming our way? They've got a little bit of an idea. I like that they don't just run through for the same thing a 5th time in a row, because you got to expect that Loud are ready for it this time. That means you got to look elsewhere, though, and the B site is where they're deciding to take things. Spike's still on Crash. He's in spawn, but he's making his way through. Oh, maybe he's not. Is this a huge fake? Already through the wall. Victor's got one. He goes down, and they're still causing distraction. They're making noise while the rest of the team roots back to the A side.
The problem is they haven't been able to smoke everything off. You can see the cross is currently being held. Aspas is in position, and they've already used their remaining smoke just to try and stop anybody coming out from the bout. 2 players here, a third rotating, but already Marv's is going to take the head off one. Aspas needs to get something, and it's absolutely nothing. The tour de force from Ye puts another in the grave, and 5-0 looks inevitable, Mitch.
Yeah, how are you going to fight back into this one? I mean, realistically, with Sadik on 2 HP, the right call is to save, but this is a commanding lead by OPTIC now. With the amount of success they're having, you see the early A main control that really, I mean, Loud didn't get a chance to test it that much because they push up, they end up getting hit by a flash stun. It's a completely different approach from OPTIC, so they haven't figured out how to keep control of A main. That's already a problem, but then they got sold out by a fake, which consisted of a player just darting his way into the site, blitzing through a wall and getting a kill, dragging the rotations off of A and making it an indefensible site. Is that Ye and Sadik lead the charge for some of these defensive side aggressive rounds, and here's an opportunity with Sadik. He's completely ruined! OPTIC were ready, they read them like a book!
Yeah, they even had the operator set up as well on the other side, so if he swung the other angle, they were ready to take it. It really does just seem like, at the moment, FNS is reading out of his opponent's strap. It's like, okay, they're going to be doing this round. He got the script a little bit early because, yeah, they've just been absolutely ruined. That removes some of the utility that is holding other flanks on the map as well. So because of that, players now have to get aggressive. They need to try and find a fight. And Aspas, I don't really feel like he's had a clean fight just yet, which is where he normally shows that individual ability we've been raving about.
I mean, even there, the opportunity, right, kind of got caught off guard by where Victor was, being so deep into the corner. That's a missed opportunity for Loud. 4v5, no information as we tend a little bit further on. They're still having quite a bunch of utility on this defensive side. We saw the nade go down early. Now the snake bites are being used to slow them down a little bit more. That flash is good, and the response is so clean. Victor is just DMing on every site. It seems like no matter where OPTIC decide to go,
Spike planted.
The Loud defense just crumbles within seconds. I mean, this is fresh off a timeout as well, Tom. You can only imagine what that does to the morale of the team now.
Yeah, they're just being bullied. They're being utterly bullied by Victor. And I have to give credit to the setup as well. Some of them is its own stuns, but you've also seen the same coming through from FNS. Sassy, of course, this is a man that you never really want to face, because if he has the positioning, he's going to land the shot. But Marv, well, at this point, economy's not an issue.
Again, we're going to see Loud push up on Dish, a double push this time with breach utility, but OPTIC seem to be taking a completely different pace as well. Faking it out a little bit there. Victor's baiting their utility, and the players are actually so far back thanks to that Dish push. Tom, the Dish push is coming all the way around. They think now that it's definitely going to be a B play. If OPTIC decide to do what they did before and fake back, they will have a free A site. Sure, they'll run into a trap and give the info, but they'll still get the side in time. If they decide to go B, they have the whole team to contend with.
I think the thing is, though, a lot of that looked like they were trying to bait out some ults, which they didn't. Like, obviously the utility was nice, but there was 4 ults on the side of the defense, so they were expecting something to be used off the back of that push. Now, luckily, they have Ye. So he's just going to be able to find an opener, and there isn't a lot left on the other side. I will say, Aspas with a showstopper and everybody running through in the other direction, but he might have actually been caught there. I don't know if he's going to be able to use it and just has to fall back and try and wait. They've managed at least to do a little bit of damage, but in the meantime, that control is just being taken on the other side. Aspas at least will be able to get one, and actually the spike's been dropped.
That Rolling Thunder coming through, it looks like they want to commit to this. Loud having Sassy walk all the way around. The man with the Vandal on his own now to make this little flank play up through main, but oh, Ye was looking at it for a second. He's about to be blocked out by the wall, and as he tries to go back through it, the showstopper comes in. Sassy catches the flank, and now FNS is left alone. He's got to go fast if he wants to deny this. The stun comes through. That has pulled them off the defuse for a second, and he gambles that they did just that. Now, though, forced into the open! A good opportunity!
1 HP!
That's Aspas that comes out on top with 1 health. So ultimately, I guess it comes down to a bad gamble for OPTIC, but, you know, 6 out of 7 rounds have been pretty good, so they can be happy with that. We've got to see Loud reset into this and continue that same trend. Now, we saw in the last round, Ye's operator found a duel right away. This time, a change of pace yet again. OPTIC not giving Loud a second to rest. They've overrun the site, but again, OPTIC or Loud are happy to give up that control. They've got to hold on after, and Victor, he is just, oh, he's distracted them all. They're so worried about this guy, and Crashies is able to spray them. Oh man!
He's in their heads. He's deep in their heads. It's just given so much space to Crashies to take that swing, knowing that they've been forced out of the tower, and the remaining 2 have no choice but to save. And this is the difference for OPTIC. They've been selling that fake fast round for so long. Like we've seen it throughout the game so far. It's like, okay, we're just going to throw Victor. Okay, now we're just going to throw in steps. We're not even going to do anything else. This time they go aggressively. The control's given up. But because of that, they're forced into awkward positions. And they know how far the Victor is willing to push. He's still pushing. He hasn't let go of the W key. He's looking for that last man, and Sadak is doing his best to try and survive. I think he might just be able to hold on to the weapon. No, in fact, he's taken out by FNS. That's a normal shot for him.
7-1. Brazil in a tough spot, now on an eco. And with a judge in the hands of Les and the rest having pistols. Indeed, that judge being on the B side. Yeah, all right. That does just about sum up the kind of time Loud are having so far. Aspas has been pretty good with the Sheriff. Triple kill to win out the 1 round that they had, surviving on 1 HP, but this is a little bit of a different task, right? They're not retaking, they're not showstoppering. Instead, they're trying to defeat an OPTIC 5-man aggressive strategy. And with pistols, well, the result is as expected.
Yeah, not too much trouble.
0 damage.
So far. 0 damage. So far. You know, it's the opportunity. There you go. There's the... Oh, that's not the damage you want.
Their ultimates, really. They've got 4 online.
Yeah.
The A plan has been flawless so far. And then you think about it, what happens if they lose a player or 2, if Victor doesn't find these early aggressive rounds, well, then they start to look at the ult economy and invest that. And the control, even though 2 players from Loud wanted to fight this, they hear Victor coming, and they're out.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like 1 or 2 pieces of utility just completely takes over map control. Now, one ultimate that's been online for a very long time was actually that Viper's Pit. So it's finally been utilized in this round to lock down at least 1 corner. But now they've gone in the other direction. Again, an incredibly fast take in towards the site. Marth has taken a lot of damage, and yeah, he's taken even more. He's died to his own teammates' utility. Definitely not ideal in this take, and in fact, I wonder if they're going to try and back out of here. In fact, no, they're going to plant themselves a relatively open position. Victor knows that he needs to try and get aggressive, and while I say it was open, he actually goes down, and a cheeky little blast pack kill coming out from Aspas.
Considering how this round started, it was looking like Loud were down and out, but now starting to recover a little bit more control. Marv, sure, he gets a kill, but he's down to 13 HP. Spike still in their position. Marv on the rotate, and so too is Crash. They're going to look for a B-side plant. Orbital strike online. Other than that, utility is scarce. A Molly as well for post-plant play. It means Marv could still be pretty useful, but getting to the site will be the problem. And look at Pancata. With 15 seconds left, he's holding that orbital strike, ready to drop it down from the sky above. This could be huge! If Crashies put that through, they might have gotten a plant! But instead, the round is done. The orbital strike confirms it. Crashies, well, He'll go down after time as well. 8-2.
They've had to fall back into those positions and not take the battles versus Victor. And well, again, just a straight blitz through in the early round, the same sort of setup we've seen throughout. And again, we've got that push through ditch.
Rolling Thunder used this time. That space was conceded though. Loud, obviously, as you said, Tom, pushing Dish, taking the control. It means OPTIC blitz all their utility in here, and they don't really find anything for it. But they'll get the side in the plant, which, you know, it's strange because it's like, oh, they didn't find what they usually find, which is like 6 kills. So, because, I mean, yay, going down. This time around, though, it's much cleaner. They've got post plant, and yay, well, he's catching that one for free. No idea about the player on the left, though.
It may not matter. It genuinely may not matter. I don't know. The timing's good enough. Pancada pushing them up just straight through the door. Into the site goes one. Aspas has been able to trade it back into a workable position. Victor above, though, hasn't been cleared. Sassy left alone, trying to get something done. He's going to pop the ult, but Victor's just too clean today.
9-2, Tom, diving into the last round of the half. This is at desperate times for Loud. They put everything they can into this round, investing it all, and that stun is so good! Victor coming through with the opening, and the follow-up there from Marv, trading it out. Aspas has no choice but to run for the hills. Oh, they're gonna have to dig deep to come up with a third round here. It's a 3v4.
Yeah, and again, it's the slowdown from OPTIC. They've already got what they needed. They can just wait for their opponents to re-aggress and rotate, slowly clearing out the site. But again, they don't know if anybody's actually still around this area. And after finding a couple of initial jewels, they're now just allowing Ye to almost lurk in from behind. And well, it's almost going to depend on which direction they gamble in. Sadak's not in a bad spot. He might be able to see them, but instead, they might just opt to wrap back around. They got plenty of time.
They're ready with the stun here. Smoke pushing Sadak out of the site. The stun comes in up above. Got the information on Aspas being in this position. Still hard to hold on. He's only got a Spectre to work with. Dodges the first flash, blast pack through. He doesn't want to overcommit to it, and the flash gets him. Sadak, the last man alive. This is where the tour de force might be able to find some value now that the smokes start to fade, but even still, 1v4. How much hope can you realistically have?
They've already spotted him. That shot was actually closer.
Well, I'll tell you what, things are pretty quiet on that side of the stage right now, Tom. The morale has to be dipping as we come into this half, but now they're on the attack. And I want to say that that's where they get to decide the pace, but knowing OPTIC, I think this is going to have to be a defensive start for Loud in this half.
Well, Sadak's already gone. Yeah, they're pushing. Yeah, they're already pushing all the way down. And the worst thing is they're doing it on A main as well. So so much ground already covered. The thing is that the slow push going through on the other side could actually give them the space just to take complete control of this B site. It's just dependent on the timing of everything. And without having ramp, it can be fairly difficult to get a strong afterclock.
Yeah, it's good control. Southside Crunch, a favorite of most teams. OPTIC having a decent bit of a foothold to fight back into. In fact, they're just running it down again! Look at the pace out of these guys! Victor's on site! The flash is so good, though. It slows down the rest of the team. It allows them to eliminate Victor, but they still need to get a foothold of their own. Loud are crammed into the corner of the site. It's Sadak who has to open up this side angle. Marv'd already eliminated. The duel's working out well, but they've caught him! This is looking a little bit scary. FNS managing to take down Sassy, confirms the round, and with that pistol going OPTIC's way, starting to feel like the beginning of the end, Tom. 11-2. It's like, I prefer his Neon entry than any Jet entry in the world. This guy is crazy.
He's ready for the new patch, let's put it that way.
Oh, yes, he is.
He's more than ready.
Yeah, well, I see, this is the thing. People are going to be looking at Victor now going, how do we play without Jet? All right, let's see what this guy's got planned. I mean, we've already seen it viable on the likes of Haven, and there's many more maps that it could come out on. Ye has the escape, of course. Crashy's not so lucky, and he'll go down to 24 HP. Ye in the snake bite only needs the one bullet. Crashy's is down too. Loud actually answering up here with next to nothing in their hands coming into this round. They're actually doing quite a bit on the force. This could be a third for them, and a recovery of a disastrous scenario.
It's not over yet, though. Still players able to try and fight their way back through. And
Vic's alive.
Yeah, he's looking to try and sneak his way forward. The rest of the team isolated by the smokes is definitely going to make things a little bit more difficult on that way back in. Already though, the stun through, and he's just insta-kill Pancada. Now looks to try and take that space even further. He's just farming up kills. Another to his name! Victor has just given them the 12th, and whoa!
It just gets jumbled around to the point that they're already trying to figure out. They're trying to recover around when it's only just started. Adapting to OPTIC's play here is, I mean, next to impossible on the fly. And you can see that, I mean, I hate to say, but Loud were not ready, evidently.
Oh, there's at least some sort of buy. It's definitely not the prettiest. Yeah, he's already decimated one. He's not going to be able to escape, but even with the pistol, Crashies has found another, looking to try and reclaim that space, but even just with that man advantage alone, they put themselves in a good spot.
Push coming over on Dish. FNS is just leaving, and they've heard him. That's confirmation for Loud that they've pulled the rotation. And that this site should be next to free. The drop down is heard. FNS knows that he's conceded the control. Loud might hope that he's already rotated to the other side, that they don't have this information to play with the headshot angle. Tough for FNS. He does so much damage, and he's actually deterred them from any further aggression, Tom. They have no control of Dish, nothing in main. I mean, the attempt from Sassy to take some control gets slapped and shut down.